Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Example of Play. In this video, I'm taking a little trip down memory lane, going to play some combat mission Barbarossa to Berlin. Now, the reason I'm playing this game all of a sudden, this game that came out about 25 years ago almost, is because it just got released onto Steam along with Combat Mission Beyond Overlord and Africa Corps, the original combat mission games. They've come over to Steam finally, and not just that, they've got some nice updates. So then the games now run in widescreen resolutions. They look really nice. Not like huge updates to the graphics, but the animations are smoothed out a little bit, they said, plus some updates to controls. So, like, you can use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. And so the game just handles a little better, looks better. But the big thing is that it now runs in widescreen resolutions up to like ultra widescreen without you having to do anything. It just naturally runs that way. So I am excited to try these games out because for me, Barbarossa to Berlin was like my introduction to wargaming. It was the first one that I picked it up just in a store in the mall randomly by chance when I was like 13 or 14 years old. And I remember looking at it and thinking, this looks really cool. Like, I know I'd played a little bit of some strategy games like Command and Conquer and stuff, but this was like realistic and it was like a real historical battle and had all these real units and everything. And so I thought that was so interesting. Now, me being kind of ignorant at the time, I got home with it, and then I was like, why can't I play as the Americans in this game? Because this game's all about the Eastern Front. And so eventually I figured that out, but I did have to learn some history from it, which was worth the price of admission on its own just to learn, like, oh, there's so much I didn't know about World War II and history and everything like that. And so in this video, I'm going to play it a little bit so you can see what this new version of the game looks like. It only costs like $5 or $6 to pick up each one on Steam. So whether you've never played them before or if you're wanting to go jump in and try them out again after a long time that you maybe haven't played them in a couple decades, they are there. So we'll play it a little bit on this video and just kind of talk about why I enjoy this game so much. The one thing I like about these games, so these original ones, they get called CMX1, like the first generation of combat mission games, versus the newer ones, CMX2, so like Shock Force and Beyond Battle for Normandy and all the other ones since then, is that these original ones had a way better quick battle system. So you can see there are tons of pre-made scenarios that are in the game, like tons and tons, plus operations, which are like a series of battles that you can play. But the one thing that I always loved in the original games was doing a quick battle, which for a variety of reasons, I'm not going to go off on a big tangent about it. They never really worked that great in the newer combat mission games. Where here, though, they were just wonderful because you go in here and say, okay, and this also highlights how the breadth of this game. So you can choose to play from 41 to 45, like the entire war on the Eastern Front, by whichever month and year you want to play in, different regions. So it gives you this huge variety of units and stuff that we'll probably never see a game with this much stuff in it along these lines. But then you come in here, pick what nation you want to play, which of course here was like where I was like, why can't I pick America? Like, why is there Hungary and Italy and Romania? Until I learned later, like, oh, that they were on the Eastern Front and all that kind of stuff. And then which one you can pick depends on what year and month it is, if they were actually still in the war at that time or not. And then you can pick even like different divisions, like different types of German troops if you want to. On the Soviet side, you can pick like the guards mechanized or uh, the ski troops, the naval troops, all that kind of stuff is in here, and they all look a little different, have different unit selections that are realistic. And then the other thing I like to play here was that you could kind of cherry pick like your force or let the AI just pick for you. I'm gonna let the AI just pick for me to save time, but you could pick from so many units, and it was kind of fun to like cherry pick. Like, I want all the weird, interesting units for my force, but also letting the AI pick, and then knowing like you just have to deal with whatever you got, and then you don't know what the AI has on their team, and just kind of like playing the hand you're dealt. I always had so much fun doing that, and because the system is so easy to just to get into and play. And then we'll pick to play maybe like a village, moderate, small hills, little damage. Go and let's see what we get. All right, so I think we'll play Axis, see if we get some cool tanks for our guys. All right, so it's raining. Got big objective there, little one there. Fight over like this little village at a crossroads, classic. And then our force is some infantry, a Panzer II with an interesting camo pattern on it, and then a couple armored cars. and a decent sized infantry force. All right, we can work with this. And then yeah, we're gonna need to cross over. Got a little bit of trees and stuff. Try to get the objectives. And so these were always fun because yeah, you could just fire it up, see what force you got. You could pick your force too, but I always kind of like just seeing what I got and doing the best I could with it. And then the maps are randomly generated, so they're not always particularly scenic or beautiful or anything, but they are at least something different every time. So yeah, I'll take a second pause here, kind of range my force, and then we'll play a few turns just to see how the game works. Alright, so I got my force ranged here. So I had a company of infantry, which I think they're just kind of standard rifle infantry. And then my 2 armored cars. So I got kind of one here on the road, and then one in the trees over here on this hill. Hopefully he'll see something and he can back up if it's something too dangerous. And then our Panzer II, kind of here in the middle, where it can move up as needed or be not totally exposed. And then I got my infantry platoons kind of set up to move up. 3 platoons move up to those trees towards that objective, up to those trees, and up kind of towards that objective. See how it goes. Also had some tank hunter teams that were individual, so kind of splash those into each platoon, plus some machine gun teams set up along our back here to give us some covering fire, and especially right down this road down the middle that runs through the whole level. And our team here can actually see like all the way to the end, so hopefully they'll spray that whole road down, make it hard for anyone to come straight down that road other than armored vehicles. So the way that the turns, or the way the system works in combat mission, that's really cool, and I think was kind of novel at the time these came out, is it uses like a WeGo system. So it's not, you don't take turns, you give orders here. It's like this is the setup phase. So I've placed my units, and now I can give them orders to move up or whatever, and then hit go. And then my opponent, be it the computer or another player, they do the same thing. They give their orders, hit go, and then the game runs for 60 seconds. So basically like simulates a little movie that you can watch of what happens, and you can rewind it, watch it again, if something cool happens. And then after that 60 seconds, it pauses again, and then you can issue orders again. So it creates this system where it's both like entertaining because you can watch it and see what happens, but also strategic in that you have to decide like your orders. Once you give them and hit go, there's no taking it back. You have to live with what happens after that. So sometimes it can be great, sometimes it can be devastating, and it gives you a little bit of that sense of realism of like an order delay, or that a battlefield can be chaotic where you give an order, it makes one sense, and then 2 seconds later a tank rolls around this corner, and now you really wish you could pull those guys back, but it's too late, so you have to live with it, which always made it fun. So here we hit go, and now we can see, right, they've got some kind of light tank down here at the other end. Hopefully, I don't really have much anti-tank power other than my Panzer II, which is kind of not too powerful in that regard anyway. So hopefully they don't have anything heavier than us, or that could be trouble. But this battle, like the forces are based on points, so if the AI got some kind of heavier tank, that means they spent more points on that. They might not have as many infantry. You have to kind of work around that, see how it goes. Or take advantage of that it's raining. Maybe they'll just get stuck in the mud somewhere if they send it off to the side. But I'm going to give my guys here just some simple orders to start to move up. I've also got a spotter here with some artillery. The artillery is pretty simple in these games. Like you have mortars that can be on the field that can target things, and then the spotter, which can call in heavier artillery, is basically like that's their one job, is to do that. But I've got him hiding right now because I don't want him to draw any fire. And then we'll have this platoon move up as well. I'm giving kind of mass orders here because it'll take them a turn just to get up there, and then we can give more individual orders after they get up there. And these guys, though, we can give them an order to run. They got a little more ground to cover. Alright, we'll hit go and see what happens. And that little blue line loading. One thing that was always fun that I kind of figured out was that if there's going to be a tank battle and something's going to get shot, it involves a bunch of calculations, which on this older engine, apparently, it was a little bit of a load for it to calculate some of that stuff, and you would see the little blue line like pause for a second, and you knew, oh, right there, a tank got hit, or there's a big tank battle right there, a bunch of calculating going on. Alright, so we do see some, Probably Soviet, yeah, fighting the Soviets. We see some Soviet infantry out in the open. Now, I'm not ever going to say the AI was like super smart on these or anything, but they were fun to play against. And then we saw, okay, yeah, there, whenever like a tank got hit, you can see it does like a ricochet, it does like a calculation to see what happened. And the nice thing is, like, oh, if you saw something happen but you missed it, you could just back it up and watch it again if you wanted to see, you know, like a tank get blown up over and over. It looks like we think that might be a T-34, which if that's a T-34, we're going to have a rough day because we probably don't have anything that can take it out. But that kind of matches the German experience at some of these battles where, yeah, they rolled in with Panzer IIs and 3s, and then here's a T-34. Alright, so the Soviets are caught out in the open here a little bit. I think I'll have to end it, and then I'm going to have my spotter fall in his artillery. Have to stop hiding, and then target wide, so I want to just hit this whole area right there. So it's going to take, though, like a minute for it to come in, which is fine. And then our other forces seem to be doing okay, so we'll just have everybody keep moving up. If we can get to that objective, that would be good. And then I'm going to hold my Panzer III in reserve. Maybe we'll see what happens. Maybe our armored cars will get lucky with their cannons and do some damage. Or it could be that the Soviet tanks are like conscript or green crews, and maybe they'll just bail out if they get hit enough. Because we do have a lot of machine gun fire and cannon fire heading that way. Yeah, they got a lot of armor. I got one little Panzer II, and they've got all these tanks. Like a platoon of light tanks, plus at least one T-34. I always like to zoom in, get the like little close-up view. Ease my armored car over there. Missed pretty badly. Maybe we'll get lucky. And then your vehicles can be smart enough that they'll back up, even pop smoke and reverse sometimes. Get into cover. A T-70 light tank right there. Alright, good. So we at least knocked out one of those, or at least got them to bail out. Got all these infantry out in the open, so if we can drop some artillery on them, maybe we'll mess their force up. Alright, and this, yeah, they went into hiding. Smart, and they backed up too, so they just automatically reversed because they saw that T-34 in their line of sight. We might still have to try to deal with it, but if we can get our infantry up in here, then maybe our tank hunter teams can do that for us. Alright, I'm gonna have them run since we've got a pretty good angle, hopefully not taking too much fire there. This might end up being an easy one if the AI is not being aggressive enough, and we can get into a good spot right there before they get to us. And then to make it easier for the AI, you can like give them more points and stuff to balance things out. And you can see like you have orders like run, which is run, move, pretty self-explanatory. Contact, they'll move till they come into contact, then stop. Advance, which I think was kind of like a little more aggressive movement. And then assault, where they'll do kind of like shoot and move, and then sneak, where they'll crawl. So different ways, and even withdraw. So you have like a lot of different movement options that right now I'm not remembering all the nuances of them. But we're just gonna have them run right now to get up to there, and then we'll get them into cover. And then same thing, these guys, so they're tired because I had them run already a pretty long distance. So maybe we'll have them just move up to those trees. And then, yeah, we'll let things be back here in the back. Let our covering fire keep firing. But even though this scenario is going okay so far, it could turn against us if they knock out our vehicles. And then it'll be up to like just our tank hunter teams to try to get close enough to knock out those T-34s, or at least One still. Maybe we're lucky and there's just one, and then the rest are all light vehicles. And then if you want to make it easier to see your units, you can actually like make them big. You can make them like humongous, which is almost silly looking, but makes it easy to see where everything is. Make them a little bit bigger. So we got our artillery landing. Yeah, so I think we might be able to win this just from them starting their infantry off where we could see them and getting some good artillery on them. Now we've captured that location. We can have our guys kind of spread out and cover here. Here's our tank hunter team. The poor machine gun guys back here, they're tired. We'll let them just move up to maybe there and see if that's good enough. Let those guys rest for a minute. These guys, yeah, get into cover. And then the red lines you see are like command lines. That means they're close to a headquarters unit or like an officer or other unit. So it gives them a little boost to being in contact with some leadership. And then the one thing I like this game again made things simple of like these guys that are like a tank hunter team. They're not attached to anything initially, but you just put them close to a leader unit and they automatically attach to it, which is nice. Hit go there. But yeah, whenever I was a kid playing this game, it kind of blew my mind, the realism of having these like really long range engagements where, yeah, I have like a machine gun here and it's shooting at guys all the way across the map, which this is a small map, but just that in most games, you know, you'd have like this artificially short range on different weapons that are like Command and Conquer. You can only see so much at a time, where here you can see this whole big battlefield all at once. Might have to fire up one more scenario since I think this one kind of like stymied the enemy response right here off the bat. Well, now they're moving up. Got their armored cars. They got a lot of armored cars. It always feels like the AI gets more stuff than you do, even whenever you're even. Never mind when you give them more points. Got machine gun carrier moving up over there. Seconds goes by. I just want to see if this armored car gets close enough that my tank hunter team takes it out. They're right here. You can see they've got like some Panzerschrecks or yeah, and some like grenade bundles. I'll have them run up here so they're ready to pop that armored car if it gets close enough. And you could also get like flamethrower units, which is always exciting if you get them close enough to actually use their flamethrower. Oh, they turn. Wait, yeah, they're coming on. And then of course you couldn't always see all the units. Like if enemy units in cover, you might not know that they're there. Where this battle, they're having pretty good visibility on everything. But in the newer combat mission games, they did do some cool stuff with like units being able to transfer information to each other, as far as spotting. Infantry are taking some fire over there. They're not even the ones being aggressive. Alright, we'll move our Panzer II up. Oh well, they found a target. Gonna move them up just to get them in the fight a little bit. And you give multiple move orders, so you give a sequence of waypoints, and they can also be different on each one. Our Panzer II with its cannon, not great for penetrating armor, but pretty good for taking on lighter vehicles. Armored car is really asking for it, moving up on us. Nope, Panzer II said, nope, not interested. Don't want to go any further. Oh, they got knocked out, so... yeah, I probably should just let them be. Let them fire while they could. Oh well. This armored car is coming up. Let's see if our guys take it out. Throw in like a grenade bundle on it or something. Now they have contesting that objective. Have these guys now, they've had time to rest. Time for them to make a break. Get across into that objective. While our other platoons just try to hold on to what they got. Because, yeah, they're not going to be getting, there's no big panzers coming up behind them to help them out. Here comes that T-34 rolling down the road. And yeah, back here, our machine guns, they're having a good day. But everyone else is having a little tougher time up there. Now we got goal of that objective, make them come for it. We'll play out to turn 10 to see what happens. But the fun of the game is that it's pretty easy to just fire up a battle and play it and see what happens. Just like this one, which I thought was going to be easy because we caught a bunch of the infantry out over there, but now they're kind of pressing us with all their light armored vehicles plus a T-34 that we're going to have trouble dealing with. And now they got infantry that are moving up and are actually moving through some cover. So they're going to have a hard time making it this last stretch since I'm already on the objective. Alright, so we pushed them off. We have control there again. And then you can see, it might be hard to see, but like down here at the bottom, you can see how many casualties they've taken, what their training level is, their fitness level, and then these guys are rested, they've caught their breath, but like they're taking cover, so they're, you know, hunkering down instead of shooting back, and you can see what weapons the squad has, so like individually how many rifles and things like that. So a lot of stuff kind of calculated in as far as the unit's firepower and what they're going through. Play one more turn, just see what happens here. See if we can hold that flag another turn. We'll call it a good enough. As long as we can keep their infantry off of us, then their vehicles will have a hard time coming in and actually taking the objectives. And then of course playing the game against another human is the best way to play. Which I remember back in high school, I had like one friend I talked into playing against me, and he was like, "What is this game? What is going on? I don't understand it." But we emailed turns back and forth somehow, and actually played a few battles that way, which was always a good time. Because another human, then yeah, you don't know what they're gonna pick, what kind of tactics they're gonna use, so it's a whole different ball game. All right, well, we've slowed them down enough. We'll call it a day here. I don't want the video to go on forever and ever, but anyway, if you are interested in Combat Mission, the old games, if you've wanted to play them for a long time, you've never played them before at all, do check out the new versions that just posted on Steam today, because they're very easy to get into. I hadn't played this game in like, I think 5 years or so since I played this, but I just fired it up. It all came back to me. Being able to use the mouse wheel feels really good. I do wish it had like the full camera controls, like being able to just hold down like middle mouse or something to move the camera around, but it's still so much better. It feels so much better than it did, and then the resolution, be able to play at higher resolutions and have it look really nice is a good upgrade, worth spending the like $6 to buy the games again and have access to all those scenarios, all these battles, something you can just fire up anytime you want. For me, definitely worth it. A really nice surprise, because I just heard about this like a week ago that it was even coming to Steam, and then just heard like 2 days ago that, oh, it's going to actually have updates. It's actually not like a remaster really, but an updated version, modernized a little bit. So good job getting that out. And also I'm looking forward to, there's rumors of new Combat Mission CMX3 on the way, with the original Battlefront team getting resources and stuff from Slytherin now that they got bought out or merged, and that is really exciting. So looking forward to seeing, and wondering like, are they doing this to kind of promote, get interest in Combat Mission again, because maybe they have a big announcement coming soon? That would be cool to see. So but if you like this video, be sure to hit like, subscribe for more war games, strategy games, all that kind of stuff from Example Play here. Thanks for watching. Bye.